Hey guys, welcome to Algebra 2, Semester 2. This is Chapter 8, Section 5 in the Big Ideas Math text, and this is talking about recursive formulas. So before we get started, I think what we really need to do is figure out what a recursive formula is. I need to make sure I have a mouse. There we go. Okay, so we've been dealing with patterns like 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. And this pattern's not very hard to identify. What is it? Everybody think, what's happening here? That's right, we are just adding 2 every time. So we've been doing something called an explicit formula. And if you remember what that was, it was a sub n equals the first term plus n minus 1 times the d, the common difference. And so for this one, what we're going to do here is say that the first term was 3, n minus 1, and then the common difference was 2 every time, which means it's 3 plus 2n minus 2, which is 2n minus 1. And this is called an explicit formula, and this is what we have been practicing. Now, explicit basically means that we're happening from the term number. So this is term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, term 5, term 6, term 7. And so what you would be able to do is plug that term number in to the formula in order to get um, whatever term you wanted, any one. And I caught my mistake right here. That was a +1, so hopefully you're still listening because I caught my mistake when I was practicing. So I had plugged 4 in my head while I was talking to you, which got me 8, and I know I had to add 1 in order to get that next term 9. So the explicit formula works to find you any term in the entire sequence. Now, recursive is what we're doing today. And the recursive formula is important because it does not work off of the term numbers. Oh, no, it doesn't. Basically, what the recursive formula does is it says you identify your first term, which is 3, and then you tell me what I do to that term in order to get the next one. Well, what you would do is take that first term and add 2. So the question is, so here's a sub n. The question is, what do you call the previous term? Because what I want to do is I want to take it and I want to add 2. And if I take the previous term, which in this case was 3, and I add 2 to it, I'm going to get 5. If I take the previous term, which was 5, and I add 2 to it, I'm going to get 7. So this formula works. The formula is the previous term plus 2. And I know it looks scary, but I promise it's not. The previous term is a sub n minus 1. Because think about that. If you want a sub 2, then what you really want is a sub 2 minus 1 plus 2. Well, a sub 2 minus 1 is just a sub 1 plus 2. And you know that a sub 1 is 3, so it's just 3 plus 2, which is in fact 5. A sub 2 is 5. So the difference between explicit and recursive is you have to know the previous term. You have to know it in order to use the formula. And that is why for a recursive rule, the formula has 2 parts. So let's write this for once and for all somewhere right here real pretty. The first term is always stated, and then the a sub nth term is always stated, plus 2. That is a recursive rule. So I know you like explicit. We've been doing explicit. Explicit makes a lot of sense, but now you know how to write a rule based on the previous term. That's a recursive rule. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here and post it, and then post the next video because I've got the baby sitting right next to me and I don't want to mess anything up or lose this 5 minutes. So I'll be back with you in another video.